enter Roundabout, then take 3rd exit.
Hi guys, today I'm going to do Perceton route. It's a route that takes you through Perceton and Irvine. Internal mirror right, door mirror, signal right, position to the right, vehicle coming from the right, slowing it down. Gap behind it I'm going to take, so it didn't come to a complete stop. Managed to do a rolling first gear crawl. Internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left to come off the roundabout, up into 2nd gear, cancel the signal and up into 3rd gear. Don't need to worry about
0.3 miles, enter Roundabout, then take 2nd exit.
You don't need to worry about the engine noise as you move on to a roundabout in 1st gear and you can't quite get to 2nd gear as early as you would like because of the steering. Just change gear as soon as you can afterwards. Taking the 2nd exit straight ahead, so left lane unless marked otherwise. Internal mirror, no following traffic.
Then take 2nd exit.
Slowing down to get a good look at the roundabout, planning to stop but looking to go. There's a vehicle emerged from my right but it's not crossing my path, so carry on in 3rd gear. Internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Now it's a glorious day today. It's mid-20s and it's just 1 o'clock. Got some cyclists on the right, so that's something to think about on a day like this. Some pedestrians standing wide on the left there.
Then take 3rd exit.
Other things to think about on a nice day like this is motorcyclists, good biking weather, and very fast, small machines. So keep an eye out for them at all times. There's another few cyclists on my right. Coming into a national speed limit, internal mirror, right door mirror signalling right, positioning to the right. Very open view of the road, very clear to proceed, so back off the brakes, back on the gas as soon as I've made that decision. Past the 1st exit, staying in the inside, relatively close to the curb line. Past the 2nd exit, internal mirror, left door mirror signalling left to come off the roundabout. Checking for any new speed limit signs.
Arrive
Just
at destination on left.
A repetition of the national speed limit hidden in the trees there. Cyclist on the right, so oncoming cars in the middle of the road, he's got plenty of space to get back in again.
Drive 0.3 miles, then enter Roundabout.
So coming up to the roundabout,
then take 3rd exit.
looking at the road sign, the 3rd exit is off to the right, so internal mirror, right door mirror signal right. Keep my position to the right, slowing down as I approach the bend. Very good open view of the roundabout, it's very clear to go, so drop the 4th gear to 3rd gear and carry on. Into the inside lane, approached on the right, so I merge onto the right. I've only passed the 1st exit so far. On this roundabout, the 2nd and 3rd exits are very close, so start my mirrors now, internal left, signal left, move across as early as I can for the exit. Exit in the left hand lane if there's a 2-lane exit if you can. So this is an acceleration lane, so bumping my speed up, checking my mirrors, nobody trying to overtake me on the slip road. There's no one behind me at all actually.
Drive 0.5 miles, then exit left.
Internal mirror, right door mirror, signal right. I lean forward to look into my side mirror to join traffic here and a quick blind spot check as well.
Exit left, then enter Roundabout.
Being asked to leave the dual carriageway again, so internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Not reducing my speed just yet. Get all 4 wheels across the broken line, cancel the signal. Check to see if there's any queuing traffic in the slip lane.
Then take 3rd exit.
And then reducing my speed to suit the junction ahead. If there's any queuing traffic, then you might need to reduce your speed sooner. Taking the 3rd exit off to the right, so internal mirror, right door mirror, position to the right. Still slowing down, couldn't see through the trees to see if it's clear to go, so I'm right down to 2nd gear. I'm actually now down into 1st gear. So I didn't even get to 2nd gear. So that was the plan to stop, look to go. at the speed I was going at. If it was clear just as I was selecting my gear there, I was going to select second and go, but it wasn't clear, so didn't bother with the second, straight into first gear and await my gap. Past the first exit, now passing the second exit, internal mirror, left door mirror, again getting across into the first lane and your exit lane as early as you can. Van's taking a risk by pulling out in front of me there, so I'm just going to ease off the gas, not build my speed up as I would normally do.
1.6 miles, then enter roundabout.
So if a car in front is not going as fast as I would like, so I'm going to plan the overtake, 2 mirrors signal to the right, moving out before I get too close to the back of the vehicle, cancelling my signal as soon as all 4 wheels are over the line again. I'm going to stay in this lane and take the van as well.
In 1.1 miles, enter roundabout, then take second exit.
Internal mirror, left door mirror, you can see the headlights of the van in my rear view mirror, so that tells me I'm far enough past it to come back into the left hand lane again, as I'm no longer overtaking. So back into the first lane for normal driving, even if you're at the full speed limit. Any lane to your right hand side is for overtaking only, and there may be an exceptional exit to the right hand side, but that doesn't happen very often. Taking the second exit at the roundabout, and when I look at the road sign ahead, it's going to suggest that the first lane is for Dreghorn only. Looking at the road sign on the right.
Second exit.
But the second exit is roughly 10 o'clock if you're using the roundabout as a clock face, so I'm going to stay in this lane for the second exit as well, and it's perfectly safe to do that. If you misread the sign and you stay in the right hand lane thinking that the first exit or the first lane is only for the first exit, then you might need to do a full circle of the roundabout to safely come off in the second exit. Very good open view of the roundabout at that speed, good decision to keep going. Mirror signals left. So just be aware of the approach to that roundabout. It looks as if the first lane is for Dreghorn only, but it's not the case.
Enter roundabout, then take second exit.
So still in the national speed limit sign, but I can see there's a roundabout ahead. I've just heard the instruction that there's a roundabout ahead as well. I can now see the sign for that. So I'm off the gas, letting the hill slow myself down. There's a 30 limit at the top of the hill as I merge onto the roundabout. So slowing it down for the roundabout. Left hand lane for straight ahead unless it's marked otherwise. Yep, I'm staying in the left. Nothing coming from my right, carry on. Second exit, starting my mirrors to the left now and signalling to the left. Staying on the outside of the roundabout. I approached in the left hand lane, stay in the left.
Then take first exit.
I'm back into the national speed limit, but there's another roundabout coming up, taking the first exit to the left. There is no exit to the right. I think at some point they were hoping to build a housing scheme to the right there. So, mirror signals to the left, very open view to see that it's clear to go. Just be careful in case someone is coming right round the roundabout.
Turn right.
And we're going to take the next road on the right. 2 mirrors to the right, signal to the right, position to the right, oncoming money, slowing it down further. There's a gap behind it. I'm going to take that into second gear, not cutting the markings, turning right into the side street.
Arriving at destination on left.
Still in a national speed limit, but notice the road has no pavements, and I said earlier on it's a nice day, so people could be out walking, cycling, walking their dogs, horse riders as well on these kinds of roads. So I'm not going to take it up to the full 60, and in fact there's a left hand bend coming up now that I can see as well.
Drive 0.9 miles, then turn right.
Slowing it right down to second gear for this corner. Can't see round the bend, keeping it tight to the left, but not too tight in case there's any pedestrians.
8 miles, turn right, then turn left.
Now I'm coming into a 30 and a traffic calming measures as well, so I've got to give way to any oncoming cars. There are no oncoming cars, so checking my right door mirror, moving out to the right. and then through the chicane into Perceton Row. There's an oncoming taxi. I've got a parked vehicle on my left hand side, so I'm just going to slow it down. Let the weight of the car roll forward. No oncoming cars now, so internal mirror, right door mirror, moving out to the right to overtake the vehicle, moving back into the left. This time I've got the priority for oncoming cars, so the silver car ahead is already slowed down. So moving out to the right again, checking my right door mirror, through the chicane and exiting Perceton Row. Wave of thanks to the driver, into the national speed limit. Got a double bend ahead, first goes to the right and then followed by a cattle sign, or warning for cattle. Now this right hand bend is not that sharp, but certainly too sharp for 60 miles an hour, so I'm currently 30 at the moment, or 30-ish. Now this left hand bend is actually a lot sharper than it looks. It looks like a nice sweeping bend to begin with, but it sharpens up, so I'm going to take it nice and easy around this bend. Then it bends back to the right. I've got one following vehicle.
Turn right, then turn left.
Straightens up now, and then I've got a warning sign, double bend starting to the left. And at the end of the road I'm going to be turning left. So slowing down for the bend. I'm off the brake, I'm just letting the car, its momentum slow itself down into third gear, coming into a 40 and a giveaway at the end of the road turning left, internal mirror, left door mirror, now braking, down into second gear for the turn.
Left.
It's clear to go, a nice open view at that speed, easy to make a decision.
Drive 0.3 miles to destination on right.
Every time you approach a junction, always plan to stop but look to go. So we're on a 40 limit at the moment, nice long stretch of road this. It could be quite easy to breach the 40 and go up into 45, 42 miles an hour. Trust your speedo. Your speedo's the only thing that you can use to accurately measure your speed. So if you've got a sat nav that tells you your speed, or if you're using the examiner's sat nav to monitor your speed, then you might fall foul of the speed limits, because they're based on GPS and it might take a split second or two to actually monitor your speed. So your speedo is the only thing you can go by. And you might have noticed actually, anytime I mention what speed I'm doing, it might not say that speed on the video recording, because again that's GPS.
In 0.3 miles, enter roundabout, then take third exit.
So at the roundabout ahead I'm taking the third exit. I can see from my sat nav, a quick look at the sat nav tells me it's straight ahead. I can now see the road sign ahead as well, and I can confirm that's the case. It's the Irvine town centre, straight ahead. And even though it's the third exit, I'm going to stay in the left hand lane for this.
Enter roundabout, then take third exit.
Nice open view, I can see that it's not safe to go, so slowing it down, right down into second gear, taking my gap after this black car, staying in the left hand lane as I approach the left hand lane, past the first exit already. Second exit is the industrial estate, where the new homes are being built. Internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left, and then take the third exit to town centre.
In 0.4 miles, turn right, then turn left.
Still in a 40 limit at the moment, haven't seen any new road signs. Car in front is braking, so you can see something that I can't, and it's the speed limit for 30, so check my mirrors, on the brakes as well, making sure I'm 30 or less as I come into the zone. I'm going to take the next road on the right, internal mirror, right door mirror, signal right, position to the right, no oncoming cars. I can make the turn without slowing down any further or without stopping.
Turn
Not cutting
left.
the markings. Now the sat nav's telling me to turn left here, but this is just actually it's a natural left-hand bend. Look at the centre line on the road. As I turn left, I'm now into a 30 scheme. I've got parked cars on the left-hand side. Good look at my internal mirror, my right door mirror, moving out to the right. Quite a lot of parked cars on the left, so I'm going to stay out in this position. There's no point in trying to hug the sides of the cars as I go down. Leave a door's width in case someone opens a door. Now I'm moving slightly back to the centre for the parked vehicle on the right hand side. And now there's no parked cars at all. I'm going to check my internal mirror, left door mirror, and move safely back to my side of the road.
Destination on right.
Car emerging from the left. She's had a good look and she saw me, so she's not going to pull out. Now that'll be the end of the sat nav part of the drive. Checking my right door mirror, moving out again. At the end of the road I'm going to turn left, internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Slowing it down into second gear, having a good look to my left and right. I can see parked cars on both sides, so I'm coming to a stop into first gear just to make sure those parked cars aren't hiding anything. Pulling out nice and slow, so I can manage to get out, but I couldn't make much more progress than that. I might have had to come to a stop again behind that parked car. If I've got parked cars outside the shops here, so again be aware of opening doors or children running across the road. Slowing it right down. The oncoming car was into my side of the road there, over the central line. So speed limit was 30 miles an hour, but there was no way you could safely go 30 through that stretch. I'm going to take the next road on the left, internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Now I'm coming along this road because it's outside a school and there's some traffic calming measures along this road. Some parked cars on the bend as well at the moment, which is actually often the case in this street. So it can be a difficult road to drive, and it's quite often on a lot of the test routes. And what tends to happen is at the end of the road they'll turn you right and you'll go down Bank Street towards Irvine Town Centre. Slowing it down here to see what the car's going to do. It's turning, it's not coming through the centre gap or centre of the road, so it's safe for me to proceed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn left at the end of the road and go back round the block and just show you an alternative route that the examiner might take you. Internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left. As I say, sometimes they'll turn you right here. If you're taking along this road, it's quite often you'll be turned right at this point towards Irvine Town Centre. But I'm going to go round the block and just take an alternative route to Irvine Town Centre where the examiner might take you as well. Now a lot of that depends on the time of day, because you don't want to take you past the school at 10 to 9 in the morning or at sort of 10 past 3 in the afternoon when they're coming out or whenever it is. And the reason for that is because they want you to be able to deal with school traffic, but they don't want to be held up by school traffic. They do have a sort of timetable to stick to. Most examiners, if they've got a full day, will have 7 tests in their day. And they don't want to be late in the first one in the morning and then be running behind schedule for the rest of the day. Checking my right door mirror, moving out again for the parked cars. So back down this road again. Got a car indicating waiting to pull out. The driver can't see me, he's now pulled out a bit further and can see me. Always be aware of traffic pulling out from the other side of the road like that, and they can't see you for parked vehicles. If you can't see the driver can't see you. and you would expect him to crawl out to get a better look at the road. That's exactly what he did. I'm hoping that picked up in the camera there. So at the end of the road I'm going to turn left again. Internal mirror, left over mirror, signal left, slowing down, 4th gear to 2nd gear, having a good look. Again, the parked cars are still in position, so again into 1st gear. Got a boy on his bike there looking to cross the road. I'm happy that he's seen me and he's not going to try and cross the road. And then back up through the gears, 2nd gear, and then 3rd gear, and then just negotiate this busy section outside the shops again. Not as busy as it was earlier. Just shows you how things can change in a matter of minutes. Right, so what we did earlier was we turned left at the next road, and this time we're going to go straight ahead. And we'll turn left at the end of the road. And it'll take us back towards the same set of traffic lights that we would have done if we had turned right on Bank Street. So the car in front is pulled over and parked on the left, or stopped on the left, because I think he's going to be asking for directions. So I'm going to slow down, because there's an oncoming car, it's not safe to overtake at the moment. Into 1st gear, there is a vehicle behind, so I'm going to put on an indicator just to confirm I've committed to the overtake. And at the end of the road, we're going to turn left. Now this can be quite tricky if you've never come down here before, because there is a give way ahead, but the left hand lane starts immediately after this fence here. So we've got to turn quite sharply into the left. Look to the right, there's nothing coming, so carry on. Through the pedestrian crossing, it's green, nobody waiting to cross, don't expect the lights to change. Next set of lights green as well at the moment. It's been green since I could first see it, so I expect it could change by the time I get there. We don't know how long it's been green for. The filter light is on to the right as well. That's also another clue that's coming to the end of its phase. But thankfully managed to get through, and the lights ahead have just changed to green. If we had turned left earlier and then turned right onto Bank Street, this is a set of lights that will bring you down to where you would probably just turn left. So we're going to go straight ahead at these lights. So that's 2 optional routes for the examiner to get to this same point here, and then it's the same route back to the test centre. It's got traffic lights round the bend, or a warning sign of traffic lights round the bend, and then a warning sign for a roundabout. Traffic lights at the moment are green. Some pedestrians just approaching on the left hand side, about to press the button. No traffic coming from the right. I'm going to turn left at the roundabout. So having done my mirrors and signal, I was safe to proceed. Another set of pedestrian crossing, and lights again green, nobody waiting to cross. Again, be aware of the time of day. There is a bingo hall on the right hand side, which could be quite busy in an afternoon. A couple of pedestrians, cyclists, waiting to pull out. Just passed one already, and then this girl here has already just decided she's going to go the other direction. She was waiting to pull out. Got a warning sign of traffic lights ahead again. That's another pedestrian crossing. I can see from here the lights are green. Motorised scooter on the left. No left hand turn coming up. At the roundabout we're going to take the first exit. straight ahead as far as the road sign's concerned, but because it's the first exit I can still internal mirror, left door mirror, signal left and use the left hand lane. It's clear, I'm going to keep going. Out the 30 zone into a 40 and then another pedestrian crossing. This one's a token crossing because on the box, the push button for the pedestrian, there's also a red bike as well as a red person. When you see that, that's a token crossing, which means cyclists can cycle across that crossing as well as pedestrians walking. The easiest way to remember that is two-can crossing. Two types of people, pedestrians and cyclists. I'm going to take the next road on the right. Be aware of the bus stop on the right. A lot of people think when they see the curb line moving into the right that that's where the junction is. It's actually slightly further ahead. I've checked my mirrors, I've positioned my right to the right. The car in front has just pulled out, took a bit of a risk there. Noticed that I was slowing down for the oncoming cars, so that's why they thought it was a risk worth taking. Now at this point I'm in first gear with my foot still on the foot brake. With the volume of cars that was coming towards me, it is perfectly okay to use your handbrake. But the reason I kept my foot on the foot brake was because there was no following traffic behind me. But I'm on a 40 road, so if anybody came up over the hill behind me, they would be able to see my brake lights and should be able to see that I was at a stationary stop. As I turned right, I turned into a 30 zone. So this road takes me all the way around to where I started, outside the test centre. Got a vehicle that was quite fast up behind me there. It's now had to slow down, obviously. It's not safe to overtake me on the bend. But I suspect when the road straightens up, given his speed, he might go for the overtake. So I'm prepared for that as I come round this bend and the road straightens up. If I don't see any oncoming cars, then it's going to be safe for him to go for the overtake, if he wishes to do so. Thankfully he's not. He's happy to stay behind, quite close behind though. So I'm going to plan to pull up and stop outside the test centre on the left hand side here. The test centre's on the right hand side, but I'm stopping on the left. So I'm going to check my mirrors earlier than normal again, signal earlier than normal to give the car behind more warning time that I'm pulling it to stop. Because I don't want them getting too close to me as I start to brake now. Slow down, come to a stop, close to the curb. Cancel the signal, handbrake, neutral, relax your legs and await the next instruction.